Hi, I'm Jonathan Branch, the principal at Bat Creek Christian Academy, a Christian classical learning community. Dr. Ballard has shared what being a Christian school means to us, and I would like to take a few moments to talk about what we mean when we say we're a classical school and a learning community. As a classical school, we believe that intellectual rigor serves as the framework for thinking and living. A recent survey by the Barna Group asserts that informed thinking is necessary if we are to maintain a healthy biblical faith and be able to cooperate and converse productively with others around us, especially with those who believe differently. One of my favorite things to say about Bat Creek is that we're not trying to teach students what to think, but how to think. In order to do this, we focus on discussion-based classes, critical thinking, and subject integration. Recently, we conducted several surveys of our school families and found that our academic approach is successful in helping students establish practices of informed thinking. Our students and parents overwhelmingly agree that our teachers use effective, engaging instruction that encourages creative, independent thinking among students. Our students finish each year academically prepared to meet the next challenge. Every year we administer the Terra, which is a standardized test that assesses student learning across the country. Our students typically score in the 75th percentile, or the top 25%, and we see higher scoring among students who remain at BCCA for 3 or more years. We see similar performance among high school students who take the PSAT and SAT. Bat Creek is a relatively new high school. We started our high school program in 2014, and this year we'll celebrate our 3rd graduating class. As we started compiling high school data, we've already seen students consistently improve their PSAT and SAT scores, and like with the Terra, we see greater improvement among students who remain at BCCA for 3 or more years. Many of our high school students have come to us from other programs, and their first PSAT scores are not always very strong, but we are seeing scores improve from year to year. Each year, a noticeable percentage of our students improve to reach the 50th percentile, and some even the 75th percentile. By the time students get to their senior year, they consistently meet SAT benchmarks and are prepared to move into post-secondary institutions. Some of our graduates have chosen to transition into universities through community college systems. Other students of ours have gone directly to universities including Virginia Tech, NC State, UNC Charlotte, Livingston, Southern Adventist, Grand Canyon, and Liberty. We also participate in the Duke Talent Identification Program. Students in grades 4 through 7 can qualify for Duke TIP by scoring at the 95th percentile on an approved subtest of a nationally standardized test. More than half of our 4th through 7th grade students typically qualify for this program each year, and this year 60% of our 7th grade class qualified. We're certainly proud of our teaching faculty who make all of this possible. All of our faculty and administration hold ACSI certification. ACSI is the Association of Christian Schools International, and that's our primary accrediting agency. We also hold additional accreditation with Cognia, formerly known as Advanced Ed. Many of our faculty hold additional state licensures, and our current student-teacher ratio is about 9 to 1. That ratio can be higher at times, but we're committed to making sure that our classes remain small enough so that every student is personally known by their teachers. The reason we want to make sure every student is known is that we're identifying as a learning community. Just as academic rigor sets the framework for thinking and living, we believe that relationships provide the structure for thinking and living. We want students to learn to converse respectfully and work cooperatively with others, and to be able to learn from others who speak from different perspectives and experiences. One of the first things I noticed about Bat Creek when I visited the school for the first time more than 10 years ago was the diversity among the student body. We are almost evenly split between female and male students, and nearly half of our students identify as minority students. In fact, over the course of this year, our population has shifted so that we're currently around 49% minority students. Our school really does reflect the local community, and that's something that we are grateful for and committed to protecting. One story that illustrates our commitment to community is the story of Justin and Sharon. Justin was in our first graduating class and Sharon in our second, and by all accounts, these two students should not have gotten along very well, but they ended up becoming close friends. Their video's on our website, and we would love for you to take the time to view that. About a year ago, Emma Green wrote an article for The Atlantic in which she discusses the growing social, political, religious divide in the United States. At the end of the article, she writes, "When people largely surround themselves with sameness, they may find themselves unable to see the reflection in anyone who stands on the other side." That comment resonates with our school because we believe that prioritizing sameness is essentially prioritizing self. And that is exactly the opposite of Jesus's message and example. We want students to understand that, and to understand that we learn and work together in community, and that loving and living as Jesus means esteeming others as worthy of respect and cooperating with each other and learning from one another. If you're interested in this kind of Christian classical learning community, we believe that Back Creek is a school you should look at more closely. Reach out to us by email or by phone, and we will be happy to arrange a time to visit with you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for considering Back Creek Christian Academy.